After a few months of complaints, I'm revising and reissuing my longer video on Moana to jump straight into Maui's backstory. I'm going to attempt to say these unfamiliar names correctly, but dyslexia and all. So sorry in advance, but I have little hopes of getting this spot on. For some reason, the Moana movie just glosses over Maui's backstory. Get it? Backstory? OMG. Disney's putting in dad puns and I'm eating them up with a spoon. But we get told that Maui was thrown away as a baby into the sea, and he doesn't understand why. It seems that Disney has taken the Maui legend from multiple cultures and made an amalgamation that takes a little piece from everywhere. But the Maori version of Maui is where Disney's Maui gets his backstory of being thrown away. Apparently, this was done because Maui was born prematurely. I'm guessing the mama in this case thought her premature baby would die, so she decided, hey, let's just throw him away while he's still breathing. A+ parenting skills there. Now, there are a lot of different legends. Sometimes the mother's name, Tauranga, gets switched with being the father, so getting one coherent Maui story for an hour-and-a-half movie is a challenge. But the Maori legend states that Maui was cared for by sea creatures until the gods found him one day. Moana's version of Maui is repeatedly referred to as a demigod. Having looked it up, there are two main classifications of demigods. There are those who have one human parent and one god parent, and there are people who achieve divine status after they die, or sometimes through the circumstances of their death. Now, could a baby floating in hair have died before the gods found and revived him? Absolutely. But the Maori stories often account Maketutara as Maui's father. I said that wrong, I'm sure. I'm gonna say it wrong again. Maketutara is the guardian of the underworld and is listed as a god on mythology pages. Even though either definition of a demigod is equally plausible with the amount of information that we're given, the fact that Disney bothered with the backstory of being thrown away as a baby means that they want to use that Maori influence. True, Maui says his parents, plural, were human, but maybe he just doesn't know the full story. So I'm gonna call it and say that Maui is a demigod in terms of being a half-god, half-human water baby. Plus, even though the hook lets Maui shapeshift into animals, he has his own powers of super strength and creating illusions without the hook. So Maui has at least some basic powers independent of a magical item. But the real nagging question of Moana is one line Maui sings in his utterly awesome "You're Welcome" song. I mean, oh my gosh, if you haven't heard it yet, go look it up. You can tell Dwayne Johnson was having so much fun, but in a song listing an endless amount of impossible deeds, the line, "'cause Maui can do anything but float," has bothered me, especially since Maui is shown to be singing underwater as part of his montage illusion. I have heard the great pun that Dwayne Johnson used to be the Rock, and rocks can't float, they sink, so there's your answer. I love that. It's great, it's fun, but we do theories on this channel, so I have to dig deeper. And I've also heard a lot of people say that the lyric isn't float, it's gloat or bloat or something else. That's not right. Spend 10 seconds to Google the lyrics and they all say float with an F. So now let's try to figure out what Maui's problem with water is. It would be fair to say Maui was afraid of water since he was left to drown in it as a newborn, but the movie shows us just the opposite, that Maui is quite comfortable in water and even has a fish form when his hook is present. So why can't Maui float? We see Maui try to swim away and the ocean nabbed him and spits him back out on Moana's canoe. It seems to me that Tangaroa, the god of the oceans and seas, was angry with Maui in solidarity with Te Fiti's defilement. Or there may be a more deep-rooted reason. Certain folklore states that Maui is actually the brother of the ocean god, which makes for a really interesting explanation as to why Maui can't float. It's a sibling rivalry, and the ocean god is having fun being a jerk, as any brother might enjoy giving a sibling a rough time just because he could. That could explain Maui's issues with swimming in general, and why Maui invented sailing ships so that he could give his godly brother the proverbial finger, let's say. But after getting stranded on the island, somehow I can imagine Maui trying to spend a good year or 10 trying to swim away, only to either sink like a rock or get endlessly tossed back to shore. It's like the stop hitting yourself game, but with water and imprisonment. So there you have it. Maui can't float because his brother's the god of the ocean and a jerk. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to like, subscribe, and share this video. I've also got a lot of other videos on my channel that you are fully encouraged to go check out. Plus, you can find me on Facebook at Say Halo Goodbye, which is my gamer tag, or Twitter at _Fanily.